continuing on with our introductory pharmacology principles lectures. Let's talk about the medication drug approval process in the United States. There are a number of steps and a number of phases to get a medication approved for widespread use in the U.S. First step is to get it classified as an investigational new drug. And pharmaceutical companies are going to follow this after these preclinical trials and preclinical animal testing. So they've tested it on animals, got some findings, some preclinical findings. Haven't tested it clinically yet, so these are preclinical findings. And this company, the sponsor, must submit any toxicity data. This is all animal testing, toxicity data. There's pharmacokinetics, the pharmacologic profile of the drug, its therapeutic index in this animal testing. So that starts it out as an investigational new drug. Once approved as an investigational new drug, they can start the phase 1 trials. And these are clinical pharmacology studies, and there are some human patients, usually 20 to 80 patients in phase 1. It takes 6 months to 1 year to complete these phase 1 trials, and the purpose of phase 1 is to determine safety of this medication in human subjects. So on the investigational side, we have animal testing, and animals are great. You know, these lab rats are great, whatever they're using, but humans are a little different. So phase 1 determines safety, patient safety in human subjects. And so you pass phase 1 trials and are approved for phase 2 trials. Then we move into these controlled studies in disease specific patients. So you want a medication that treats gout. Well, now we're going to take gout patients. Phase 1 had just, 20 to 80 people. Now phase 2, we've got gout patients, and we have about 100 to 200 patients with gout. And these are disease-specific patients, and how does it work in these patients? So we're going to follow these 100 to 200 patients for about 2 years in these phase 2 trials. And the purpose here, so we've already determined safety. Now we are determining efficacy. So it's safe in humans. Now is it effective in our target population, in our gout patients? When phase 2 trials are over and they've passed phase 2 trials, we can move into phase 3. So we have to pass each phase to move on to the next one. We've got to phase 3. These are multi-center trials all over the country. They're still controlled, but they're open trials, usually up to 1,000 patients here, so we've expanded it out even more, up to 3 years for these phase 3 trials. And here, so we think we've established safety in these in a small population. We think we have established efficacy in a small population. Now let's expand it out. And what do we have? Is it safe? Is it efficacious? So in this 1,000 patients all across the country in multi-center controlled trials, is it safe? Is it efficacious? And then after all of that, so phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, we've passed all of that, we've gone through all of that. Now we need to submit a new drug application. And in this new drug application, we have preclinical data. We've got all these clinical data, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We are telling FDA how we are manufacturing it. We've got manufacturing methods, quality assurance information during the manufacture process. We have any foreign market experience, any foreign market testing we're going to include on this, in this. Any published reports, any published data outside of our own clinical phase 1, 2, and 3 data, and then our package inserts that we all get whenever you go and get your prescription medication. You probably have some little insert in there, some information. So all of this goes into our new drug application. Once approved, that medication may eventually move into this phase 4, which looks at new dosages of this medication. So we established a safe and effective dose, but maybe we can kind of expand that dose and new dosage, maybe under, maybe over that initial range. We can look at extended therapies. So, what happens to these patients when they've been on this medication for 6 years? Right, that's an extended therapy that won't come out in the first one, two, or three phases. And then we can look at safety and efficacy, effectiveness in populations that we didn't originally look at. So this gout medication, well, what happens when this patient is on this medication for 6 years for gout? What are the long-term effects? And then does this medication have some other uses? So as we see common side effects, more and more and more and more common side effects, we can look at other uses. Case in point, minoxidil. Minoxidil was originally developed as a hypertension, a blood pressure medication to lower blood pressure. And then over time they saw, well, it grows hair as well, and then began being marketed as a hair growth medication, and is now that's what Rogaine is. Rogaine is minoxidil. Minoxidil was originally developed as a hypertension medication. So as it goes longer and longer in its lifespan, what are the long-term effects, and what other effects are we seeing? Total time from concept and R&D at that pharmaceutical company to full approval from the FDA here is anywhere from 8 to 10 years. So you just don't think up a drug on Sunday, and then by Thursday you got it out and you're testing it, and then by next Friday it's on the market. So just this is just the average time from getting a chemical compound and calling it a medication to full approval, full FDA approval, is anywhere from 8 to 10 years.